Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Lines Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing Nuke map generator on Chaos Saturday. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the northeast side, and then we'll end with Team 2 on the southwestern side. Starting off with Team 1's pretty much on his own. He's not super isolated from Team 1, but he is kind of on his own over there. We have as a UEF, it is Xayo in Rust. He is a 2100. Moving on to the more condensed part of Team 1, we have as a UEF as well. It is OriginalAngel in glow-in-the-dark green. He is a 1300. Moving northward, we have in Regal Purple, it is MimiKz playing as a Cybran. He is a 2200. He is the highest rated player on Team 1. He's also the highest rated player overall. And moving to the northern side, we have as a UEF, it is StrixInquisitor playing as a UEF. He is in orange, the color orange. And joining him on that northern side, we have also as a UEF, it is Unpwnable, something like that. He is a 1600. I'll probably say Unpwnable. And moving to the more middle of the map here for Team 1, we have ConConCommander playing as a Cybran in Light Oak 10. He is a 1200. It's giving me Go Power Rangers vibes for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just the ConCon repetition there, but it's just that's what I think of when I see that. And then in the northeastern corner, we have Weeb playing as a UEF in Emerald Green. He is a 1600. So for Team 1 side of the map, they made it pretty easy to add up their faction makeup. They have 5 Cybrans and then 2 Cybrans with 2 Aeon and 0 Seraphim. So no Aeon tech and no Seraphim tech for Team 1, but they make it up for a heavy focus in that UEF technology. Moving on to Team 2's isolated player on that western side, we have as a Seraphim, it is Gorton with a T. I probably will say his name with a D by accident, but again, he is Gorton. He is a Seraphim. He's in Chevy Crimson as a 1700. In the middle here, we have as a Seraphim as well, it is Prime in Imperial Gray. He is a 1600. In Snow White, next door to him, we have the one and only UEF for Team 2. It is Caine. He is a 2000 rated player. He is the highest rated player on Team 2, again in Snow White. And then rounding off the front line here for Team 2 in the best color of Forest Green, he is the Cybran of FirstOneToDie. He is a 1300. Maybe he will be, maybe he won't be. We'll just have to watch the match to see. To his west, we have as the one and only Aeon of the match, it is the Blood Angel red player of Mr. Cabin. He is a 1700. In the middle here, moving northward, actually, we have Zerbi playing as a Seraphim in Pac-Man yellow. He is a 1200. And then rounding off Team 2, we have as a Cybran, it is Morax playing as a 1600. Again, he's in the Rigger slot here for Team 2. So for Team 2's side of the map, in terms of their faction makeup, they have 1 UEF. They have 2 Cybrans, 1 Aeon, and then 3 Seraphim. So again, every faction is represented on Team 2's side of the map with the only Aeon and the only Seraphims in the game on Team 2. But again, Team 1 is heavy UEF, so we'll see if it's a little bit more of a roughly even split in factions, or if it's heavy focus in one and a slight minor in the other, who ends up winning out the match this game. And in terms of these 14 players in Reclaim, let's take a look at their Reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 17,000 mass in Reclaim, which makes it 1.1, 1.2-ish mass per player, K mass per player. So again, definitely some mass to talk to home about, saying like, hey, I got some mass today. It's actually worth it. And there's decent clumpages, 430, 450, 450, 300. So there's 500 up there to the northwest. So there is some reclaim to go around. There is some, I'd say, decent clumpages, 675 over there to that right side. There's not 1,000 or plus thing that would immediately prompt response from anybody, but it's better than nothing. In terms of the additional mexes on the map for these players, we do see a nice little quad expedition here for Team 1's Weeb. A player could have actually probably started there. And then we have a nice little quad expedition right next to the main base of Unpwnable there. There are some one-off mexes dotted in between players' starting locations. And in terms of the middle, we do see a quad expedition down here. And that's really about it for Team 1 side. Again, customary one-ops dotted everywhere, but not really a whole lot of mass to go around, so players are going to be definitely strapped for cash individually, but again, it is 7v7, so players will probably die, get secondary or even tertiary bases, so we'll see how that all shakes up. And in terms of comm distribution, besides a couple of small ponds in the middle of the map and a couple of mountains dotted next to them, there's really no particular lanes in this map. We do see, again, it's probably going to end up being more of this. And then Team 1's first one to die, sorry, Team 2's first one to die, Control K's on top of Xayo. I have no idea what happened there. Looks like there's a Team 1 PD emplacement there. Xayo got some veterancy, so he's almost at 1 already, but no idea what happened to that. So Team 2 loses the first player of the game before I can even really, going too fast. Going to introduce where everybody else is going. So I was going to say it's starting to be a 1v1 over there, but it's a 1v0 so far over there on that eastern side. We have moving westward. Looks like a 1v1 between Team 1's Weeb and Team 2's Mr. Cabin. We have a 1v1 in the middle between ConCon and Caine. I have a 1v1 between OriginalAngel and Prime. And then we do see, it looks like MimiKz is heading more westward, so it's going to be maybe a 2v1 with Unpwnable there going up against Team 2. If I can actually give it that line, there we go. Team 2's Gorton, who already has gone online, and then we do see StrixInquisitor inbound, so it looks like it's going to be 1v1 that way. It does look like Team 2's regular out player of Morax is not going to move to the front, at least for now. He has T2 Air online, and he's already working on that T3 upgrade. We have Stealth started for ConCon after his gun upgrade. Caine done with his gun upgrade. We have gun upgrade almost done for Unpwnable. Lots of upgrades establishing here for both teams. And again, first ConCom action occurs, I would presume, between Xayo and Team 2's first one to die. And yes, he was the first one to die, unfortunately, but it does happen, of course. Gun upgrade started for MimiKz. A little bit of some conflict between Caine and ConCon. ConCon did get that stealth upgrade online. Puts him on even footing with that UEF commander. Not looking super great for Caine, to be honest. Again, no real shots are landing into that commander's chest plate because he can't see him because of that nice little stealth upgrade, even with the radar system nearby. He should see him maybe momentarily with that engineer coming to say hi, but it looks like that is going to be the driving away of Caine. We have nice little Imperial Gray Prime going for his gun upgrade, and then to the north we have Strix with no gun versus Gorton with gun. Heavily damaged commander. Not looking good for him. Man, players are just losing hit points left, right, and center. But not looking good for the health in this game. OriginalAngel going for his gun right now. Stealth started here for MimiKz. And it looks like Gorton might be getting some revenge against StrixInquisitor here. He will survive an explosion from the comm. It's just going to be a little bit shy above that 2,500, it looks like. And Strix is not going to make it out of there, it looks like. And there he does get some veterancy for a brief second, so maybe that's going to save him. Maybe not. Bombercom says absolutely not. And there he goes. Gorton did take a little bit of that AoE damage, but not too much. And now we have forces from Team 1 moving in to intercept. Those pillars are inbound. They're looking to go after Gorton's comm. Pillar hits him, but he does get some veterancy. Now he's back up in the yellow for now. Now it is an even 6v6. Nobody in the lead. And I will note in terms of additional bases, MimiKz gets the base to the west for Strix, and then the base to the east goes to Mr. Cabin from FirstOneToDie. So about double eco for Team 2 down here, with this might help push this eastern side. And this might help push this western side now with this base now under the control of Unpwnable again. Exactly what's happening on Team 2 side of the map. Nano repair starting here for OriginalAngel in the middle. Everything is just constantly popping off. Gorton says, I haven't played in many years, and it looks like he might be able to get out of their Team 1. You don't know where the comm is. You're just hoping to run into him. And they are somewhat on a collision course, maybe. He's getting a little bit of regen. If he hooks to the left, he'll actually be fine, but he hooks to the right. Unpwnable stops for a brief second. He possibly could have caught up, but again, no idea that he's there. Decides to fall back. So he gets out of there. Nice drop there. The Team 2 know where he was. He did know where he was, so he did back off. And looks like Nano Repair is done. Starting Tac Missile for OriginalAngel. Looks like that was... No, it's still going. And some forces from Caine come to say hi. Nothing too crazy. We do see Caine and ConCon are back at it again. Gun Nano versus Gun Stealth. 50 hit points a second versus 18. So again, region favors Team 2. In terms of total hit points favors Team 2. Not by a terrible amount though, but a chunk. It's 7,000. Oh, no. 1-star vet. Now he's back up to 8,000. Now it's about dead even in terms of remaining hit points. And with those units inbound, oh, ConCon, I do not think you're going to have a fun time here momentarily. Caine is inbound with all of those pillars. The benefit, though, is that I think a lot of those pillars are going to die if they kill off the comm in that explosion. Looks like Caine, now I'm duplicating people's names. Caine is going to try to get at least some of those units outside of range. We do see, again, Weeb is over here. He is the regular Escalating here for Team 1, and he's all the way up here. And it does look like maybe a sandwiching is happening against Caine, but I don't know. There's a lot of forces for Team 2 here. I don't know if they're going to sandwich him. Looks like some just splitting down the middle between now Team 1's ConCon and Team 1's OriginalAngel. They might hook left, they might hook right, or they might just take shots in the middle. T2 Naval Headquarters producing a Salem class for ConCon. I don't know if that's that useful, given that pond is very small and water doesn't really occupy that much portion on the map. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Nano Repair started for Gorton, very sensible there. We have gun upgrades still progressing here for, looks like Prime. Maybe he had to cancel it earlier. But now he's done missile inbound, going after a couple of engineers. Looks like revenge inbound for those engineers. We do see a lot of mongoose. But, again, the hit points are going to favor the pillars. And... as long as those mongoose can stay out of range, it'll be good for Team 1. But OriginalAngel's losing hit points decently quickly. He has gun, missile, and nano on board. And it's gun and nano for Caine. Caine's probably going to hook and kill off a couple of these mongoose, because why not? Or maybe he'll just focus the comm, because OriginalAngel's already dropping almost into the red. He's almost going to get 1-star vet, though. He needs like 1 or 2 more kills. Caine, if he does go after them, this will be a nice little lead for Team 2. OriginalAngel drops... it's not looking good. Looks like he... is he going to kill him? 500 hit points, 400 hit points. No, it's going to be close. Oh, 150 something. He gets out of there, but now we have Weeb and ConCon inbound. Maybe he's going to go after Weeb now. He's not really killing off... he could have killed off that player, but decided not to. Gunship inbound for Weeb to assist. We still have that Salem within range. And Weeb is losing hit points pretty quickly now. Caine has nano. Again, Weeb does not. ConCon does not as well. He's going to keep him alive a little bit longer, that nano. And Weeb is losing really a lot of hit points per second. And there he goes. And the remaining forces for Caine are pretty much dealt with. And he gets a kill. Could have got a kill on Original, but it looks like he wanted maybe somebody else. And he did get somebody else. So now it is a 6v5 in favor for Team 2. For the first time in the game, they're in the lead. Team 1 was in the lead very briefly, but not very long. And now at 15 minutes on the clock, eco situation, we are crossing into the 700 territory at about 750 for Team 2 and about 730 for Team 1. Not a big lead, but not a small... it just depends. It really does. It depends what players do with their secondary bases, if they want to focus in on production or eco, or try to do a little bit of both. We could see some really expedited growth, especially with MimiKz, the highest rated player of the game, getting another base. Is pretty big. And Unpwnable's at 200 mass a second, with MimiKz at 230. Mr. Cabin on double base also sitting at 250. We do see Prime at almost done with his nano. Same thing with Zerby going for his nano. He's almost done with it. Will he assist? Yes, he will. And we do see a nice little gunship now under the control of Team 1 going after the engineers. Or the, it looks like it's going to get a little bit of both, but that nano repair will finish here soon. Another gunship is inbound. Western side, we see a huge line inbound from Team 1's Unpwnable. Interceptors trying to deal with those gunships. I think they'll kill off one of them. And no! Team 2's player of MimiKz is... Team 2's player of Prime is defeated by MimiKz, making this now a 5v5 game. So it doesn't look like one team can get ahead in comms left to life for far too long. And now MimiKz is here going after Zerby. Is it going to be a double kill here for Team 1? It is going to be a double kill, I would imagine. Get some veterancy at the last second. Is that one tap going to boop the comm, and that would be enough? I don't think it's going to be enough. He's trying to get in the pond. 1,000 hit points and falling. He gets booped by his own units. Oh, he does have nano. That T2 is really saving him now, but no. There he is. Team 1's MimiKz gets a double kill, and Caine is inbound with some Ilshis. And guess what they're going to try to kill off? Or who they're going to kill off, I should say. Now, Team 1 is back in the lead at 4v5 in their favor. And the Ilshis are not enough to deal with the bricks. And MimiKz looks like he's going to get out of there. Eastern side, we do see Caine starting to push in and essentially isolate the comm of Xayo's base from everything else on Team 2. Speaking of Xayo, facing off against some bricks. Nothing too bad, though, for now. Again, gun and T2, 2-star veterancy, but again, no nano, no shield, no missile, no nothing. So we will see. And then Team 2's player of Caine control K's? I don't get the understanding of that. So there must be some conversation. Give base, air slot, you nice player 2K. I don't. Yeah, I have no idea what that was about. But Team 2 loses another player. It's now a 5v3 advantage here for Team 1. And they are going to definitely benefit from that, especially as they keep pushing in. Maybe they're going to get 5v2. Gorton right here in front of a huge group of forces. He does have 3-star vet closing it. Oh, sorry. He's on 4-star going for his 5th and final star. I was going to say, I was like, man, he's progressing real quick. And then in the east, we have Team 2's Mr. Cabin killing off Xayo. It's a 4v3 game now, still in favor for Team 1. And everybody just dying left and right. We'll go back over here because he's starting to be overwhelmed, shielding. That's not going to be fun for him, trying to kill off those units. T2 PD trying to be built. T1 PD already built. He does have nano. He's at 94 hit points a second regen. If he survives, it's going to be in the red again. It just is. There's no way he survives this without being in the red. He's already in the red. Looking good. 1,000 in closing. And there he goes. Team 2 loses Gorton. And now it is a 4v2 in favor for Team 1. Not even 20 minutes in the game when we have 6 players left. More than half of the players have either left or been killed off. Huge win so far for Team 1. And that does give a lot of eco into less hands for Team 2, though. We have Morax at 500, and then we have Mr. Cabin at 490. Total mass per second. Team 2's in the lead. But again, this western side might be pushed here soon. The middle of the map might be pushed soon. The eastern side, maybe not as much. But these two sides, for sure, are definitely going to get pushed by Team 1. I wouldn't imagine this base stays online much longer. Same thing with this one. We might kind of end up with a weird kind of, this in this, with this being no man's land kind of thing. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. And again, the match goes on for a decent while. It's not an hour, but it gets pretty up there. You play for 15 minutes. Do you like this kind of game? We waited an hour. Oh, that must be rough. Waited an hour and a half for 15 minutes. That's kind of rough. That does happen, though, from time to time. We do see some Titans. Looks like they're getting shot at by a Percy and Isol Triad from Team 2's Morax. Again, he's probably going to be focused on air, I'd imagine. But again, we also see Restorers online for Mr. Cabin. So it looks like it might be a dual air player game here for Team 2. I mean, given the fact that they're now doing everything else, we would have had a long game if you didn't suck, says MimiKz. Again, I have no idea. One way or the other, maybe not. Who knows? Percy's pushing in against a couple of bricks. I mean, that's going to favor Team 1 just because of the firepower on the bricks, and there's 4 to 3 of them. And north, we have Unpwnable going for T3 engineering suite on board. Maybe just to go for missile, maybe? That'd be interesting. No, OriginalAngel did not go for T2, T3, or even the Nuke yet. Lots of conversation in chat, though. Lots of it. I probably won't be able to keep up with it, just so everybody knows. But again, you can always pause the video and rewind if you do want to read every single comment, because it's a lot easier to do it that way than it is to try to scroll back, because every new comment gets made and it forces my text window to go right back down. So it's just kind of hard to catch up. And in terms of, I mean, honestly, where is everybody at? Again, 6 players left. Of course, we see Unpwnable here, MimiKz here, 1 in the pond for Team 1 being OriginalAngel, and 1 east of that for ConCon. And then for Team 2, we have 1 in the pond for Mr. Cabin. And then where is Morax still in his base? Morax is still in his base. So the player who stayed home is one of the 2 that is still alive. So something has to be said about that. I would not be surprised if Team 2 starts to hunker down a couple of locations and starts maybe going in even for the late game now. I mean, it's 21 minutes on the clock. They're probably going to, like I said, lose this base over here. They might try to make an attack over here, but, I mean, there's going to be a focus on air and obviously on land, and some avenues you can kind of cordon off a little bit, but there's this kind of big open area over here, and I feel like they are just going to lose a lot of territory over there very quickly. We do see on the eastern side there's a little bit of pushback from Team 1's MimiKz, but again, it is being dealt with pretty quickly. There are some ASFs here. Team 2, ASFs nearby. Nope. Gunships are pretty sturdy, but not that sturdy. And ASF's going to hightail it out of there. Maybe it is Cybrin v UEF. In terms of ASFs, they're nipping at the heels. Turn to the left, hatches them a little bit more. Not all of them, but that might be a slight win for Team 2. Not by much. We have decent amount of spy planes just circling Morax's position. Look at that. It's constantly in a circle. Don't know if they just want to keep him active or what. I don't know. Mikey Lord online for Team 2's Mr. Cabin, though. And a nuke on... Oh, wow. Nuke already online and half loaded. Is Team 1 aware? Yep. Have they spotted it? Maybe. Is there any openings for Team 2 to exploit? Oh, yeah. There's a ton. There's obviously this base here. I would probably go for the rig out airstrap base at a bare minimum. There's a fat boy over there, but Team 2 probably doesn't know that, but it's not super pressing, and it's going to be slow anyways. So... yeah, probably going to target that air grid here soon. We do see in the middle we have some Salems. Underneath some shield protection, guarded by some Percys. That's definitely a interesting mix of units here for Team 1. At least the Salems. Usually it's bricks underneath those shielding, but, you know, nice change of pace isn't a bad thing. Wailers from Team 2's Morax trying to poke and prod up the exterior mixes for Team 1. A couple of AA units in the area. They might try to push this vector. There's one section of a smidgen of a base left here from Team 2's Morax. I don't think he's going to keep that very long, but, you know, it's going to be online for a couple seconds longer. Shield started here for Team 2's Mr. Cabin in the middle. And it looks like it might be moving in this way. We do see, again, a chonky amount of Percys underneath shield protection. Going to keep them alive even longer. Maybe not enough to one-tap the monkey, but definitely enough to kill it. SMD also online for Mr. Cabin just in case. Love to see that. His nuke is going to fire almost immediately. And he goes for the air grid. Oh, that's going to be a win for Team 2 for sure. Not a total dominating win, but it is a win in air nonetheless. And then once Team 2 and Team 1 have a nice fight about it, and Team 2 eliminates most, if not all, the ASFs, they will just de facto own air. At least for now. Mikey Lord looks like they're trying to go in and around. Units are moving. I don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere. Nuke is probably going to be spotted by Team 1 here shortly. They don't see it yet. I'm surprised it hasn't been pinned down by a nice little text bubble there. They'll see it momentarily. Yep, there it is. And, of course, a lot of the comms are moving just in case. At least 2 of them are. It's inbound. We do see a pigeon being built off into the distance just because he knows what's coming. And here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Kills off 4 mexes and the entire air grid for Team 1's MimiKz. Nice grab there from Mr. Cabin. And there is, it's called Echo is what it's called now. 3-star vet. Stealth field, obviously not really helpful at this point. But it's getting up there. 63,000 mass most definitely paid for itself. And, of course, denying reinforcements and ASFs and killing off about, I'd say, 100 mass plus for Team 1. Not bad. Not a bad nuke at all. We have some Optims now starting to perforate the front line for Team 2. We have some gunships dealing with other units dotted around there. Megalith now inbound northward. We could see this nuke play out decently well. Team 1, do you have a SMD coming online anywhere else? Because it could be a second nuke landing soon, and that might demolish another base. I'm semi-tempted to say maybe the best one to target would probably be maybe OriginalAngel's base. You could target one of MimiKz's bases. You can even target his original base right there. That is a possibility. I'm just trying to think of a way to eliminate a current threat, which we do see again in tax inbound from OriginalAngel and from ConCom. So, you know, denying all that reinforcement possibility is definitely a nice opportunity there. Gunships are inbound. Whalers also inbound. We have some AA units in the area. Looks like they're going to pull off a little bit. They need to deal with this because this is going to be kind of bad here soon for Team 2. We have gunships over here dealing with some mexes. It's not going to win the fight, but it's definitely going to annoy the ASFs, though. Monkey Lord inbound. Trying to just piecemeal all of those proceeds from Team 1. A couple of bricks coming in to assist. More bricks inbound as well. It's going to destroy the base eventually. Omni's going to be a nice grab, though. SMD is online. It isn't loaded yet. Team 2 SMD is loaded almost there. SMD built there. And Nuke is almost loaded again. Doesn't have a target in mind just yet. And again, the Monkeywood is heavily damaged now. So Team 1 looks like they're going to keep it for now. The Omni gets protected. That's probably one of the biggest things that Team 1 keeps out of that fight. Because again, knowing your enemy is almost half the battle. Probably more than half the battle at this point. But you know, it's somewhere in there. We have some Authams and some Percys charging forward for Team 2. And Percy's trying to act as a stopgap for the retreating Salems, but I don't think it's going to work. I mean, some forces are going to be destroyed, but again, look at this. They're staying right behind the Salems, which means, again, they can't target directly on 180 degrees behind them, so they're kind of in a nice little no-shoot zone. A blind spot, if you were to call it that. Monkey Lord on the eastern side just going to sit in the pond for a while, I'd imagine. The attack does stop, but looks like regrouping is underway. Nuke is loaded. Has not fired yet. Again, could attack this base, this base, this base, this base. Any of the other bases here for Team 1. They just haven't used it yet. Has there been any sort of scouting? No, not yet. Maybe they're fearing a possible SMD was built. They're just trying to get a nice idea. Zerby says go here. Probably talking about those forces. Yep, they are inbound. Looks like they're just going to charge right down the middle. And there are some forces from MimiKz pulling back to intercept. Western side, we have more and more restorers popping up over here. And there is that base for Team 2. Yeah, that wasn't going to last terribly long. And Issue says, OriginalAngel talking about this. I mean, it is an issue. Nonetheless, it is inbound. Omni's going to be taken offline. That one's probably going to hurt a little bit more to some degree just because it is in the middle of the map. Granted, the one on the right side, though, does give you a decent chunk of radar generating range on that side of the map. Monkey Lord is kind of just walking around, just trying to stay alive. Nuke is already almost half loaded for another nuke to just store in that silo. Hopefully he fires off one before the other one loads, because then it just makes it more and more of a target for Team 1 to eliminate. Granted, we know about how many nukes are loaded. Team 1 does not, but you know, storing, I'd say more than 2 is definitely asking for the thing to be destroyed. 2 is, I'd say, kind of the max that I like to see. Even on a nuke sub, 2 is probably about the most I'd ever want to store. Unless you're just spending so much mass and you end up building 5 and you don't even realize it. And you're just generating that much mass to be able to spend it on that. But still, at that point, you're probably doing a lot more things than just building nukes with all that mass. 30 minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 4 players left. Team 2 at 2 players left. Team 1 has lost Xayo, Weeb, and StrixInquisitor. Team 2 has lost Gorton, Caine, Zerby, Prime, and FirstOneToDie. And again, it is a 4v2 eco situation. Dead even, slight advantage for Team 1 for total mass accrued, but not by a big amount. Another nuke is inbound. It's just going to nuke the base to the east. I mean, I feel like that was going to happen at some point, and MimiKz kind of just wrote it off. That's why I built the SMD here. It is loaded now, so it wouldn't have worked. You could have probably maybe taken out the base for OriginalAngel. Oh, yeah, you definitely could have. Hindsight 2020 and pausing and all that, it kind of adds to the ability to think very quickly and whatnot. And you got to think on your feet constantly in these games, and the ability to pause, let alone let you like take a breather. But here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Kills off all the mexes. One PGen, a couple of other facilities remain. But the core structures in that base are now gone. Team 1 loses a little bit mass. Not a terrible amount, though. It is, I think, was it T3 mexes? Probably was. I'd imagine it was. Chicken and Crab pushing northward. And then we have Crab intercepting Fatboy. Fatboy's actually trundling right into its death. And it looks like it's spotted maybe too late. Bombers inbound to kind of soften up the shielding for the Megalith. And it's going to do some damage. Again, not a lot, but something. And looks like SACU dies from one side. Another nuke inbound from Team 2, one after the other. It's going to nuke the front line base right here. I mean, I probably would have targeted the actual base, but there is an SMD there now, so maybe didn't just do the count on how long it's been since that thing was built kind of thing. And Chicken is actually not being focused on by the Percy's from Team 1. And now we have a Fatboy actually getting even closer to the Megalith than the other one did. Here comes the nuke. It is going to land. It's going to do a little bit of damage. Not as much as maybe Team 2 hopes for, but kaboom nonetheless. That's, again, some stuff dead. And Fatboy will be killed. Megalith and Fatboy are going to be killed here soon. There it goes. Yeah, that's kind of a couple of dead experimentals walking. And Crab going to be built again by Morax. Nuke is being constantly loaded. 141,000 mass killed for 3 nukes, doing very well for itself. Doing very, very well. Again, I still would have probably targeted a player's main base, but that's just me. Eastern side, we are seeing, again, pushback, given the fact that, again, the main facility has been knocked offline. Finally, this facility has been knocked offline here. Team 2 is probably thinking about microwave back up into the yellow. Going to kill off some engineers for a little bit more veterancy. It looks like Fatboy pushing in the middle. Team 1 might be thinking about how to end the game as well. I mean, I would hope at 30-something minutes that both teams would be doing it, but they might be focused on other endeavors, like dealing with an incursion of... is that Team 1 Medusa over there? Yep, that's Medusa over there. That might be a somewhat of a concern. This side of the map definitely is weaker in terms of presence for Team 1. There's 2 Megaliths and a monkey. Again, I may just write that monkey off. Might as well just do that. Just go on the edge of the map and try to go around as best you can. Because it's already heavily damaged. Might get a run by out of it. Maybe not. This one's not going to push until the other one is here. Definitely a smart move there. Chicken is being harassed by a Fatboy. Same thing with this one. Going to be harassed here shortly once it moves into range. We have more chickens being built all the time. We have T2 artillery being built to maybe shoo away that Fatboy. Megalith is done. Megalith also done here for Mr. Cabin. Lots of Megaliths here for Team 2. Again, Team 1 has access to Megaliths and monkeys and Fatboys, and I haven't seen a lot of Monkeyloids, to be honest. There's 2 Cybern bases, to be fair, but, you know, we'd like to see a little bit more of that. We do see, again, tons of Medusa inbound, and decent chunk of bricks to support them. Ravagers opening up, shielding kind of on and off line here, not looking too great. Looks like the Megalith needs to push in a little bit more to get within range of the Ravagers and deal with that problem. The Ravagers actually probably doing more damage to this Megalith than anything else right now. And it's not going to be a win for Team 1. They definitely have inflicted some damage to Team 2's attack, but I don't think it's enough. And here comes those Medusa starting to storm the gates. MimiKz give up, says first one to die. Don't know about that. I mean, there's still plenty of game. There's still plenty of things that Team 1 and Team 2 can do, so it's not necessarily one-sided just yet, one way or the other. And Percy's are being dealt with. T3 land facility is going to be gone. We have some just mass storages being shot at by that nice little monkey. I had to make 30 T3 AA to hold you off instead of 30 extra Percy's. Yeah, that's a lot of focus fire on the air instead of the ground. And now, I mean, Team 2 still has some air, don't get me wrong, but they're starting to switch it up and go for a little bit more land. We do see, again, a decent host of ASFs are gathering, 163. We do see some for ConCom. He's at 50. MimiKz, did you get back into air? You did. You're at 60. Looks like there's some Cybran ones under your control now. Nuke is inbound again. We even see an air facility online for Unpwnable. Oh, he's going to do UEF things. Is it MimiKz on the... Yeah, lag says Unpwnable. Gorton says hang on. And anybody has to leave because of lag is definitely... It's just unfortunate. It really is. You know, leave for an actual reason, not an exterior reason, like, oh, my internet cut out, or oh, I just had bad connection, or whatever else. And the ASFs from Team 2, I don't know if they were going to try to catch them with the nuke. I don't know if that was the idea, but here comes the nuke from Team 2. SMD not loaded in time. Kaboom! Wipes out the base for OriginalAngel. He gets 2 nukes, and MimiKz has gotten 2 nukes, so it's... nothing really focused fire one way or the other, but that monkey lord is kind of being focused fire, though. Not looking good for that little monkey lord on that eastern side. And there goes, essentially, OriginalAngel. He's not out of the fight just yet, but he's not looking good. And Corsairs are going to punish that other megalith there from Team 2. MimiKz saying 4 base. Sorry, OriginalAngel saying 4 bases. He's talking about MimiKz. He's technically had 3. And then he lost 1, and then he's only rebuilt this other one just for the mexes, and that's it. And Corsairs are not looking good for Team 2 at all. A lot of firepower in the air. I'm surprised their ASFs just went for it. Looks like it was a group of them. Oh, maybe they were spy planes. It could have been spy planes, and I thought they were ASFs. It's kind of sometimes hard to tell with the royal blue. It's just kind of hard to see the symbols on the triangles. Every other color, it's pretty fine. Just those two. And Corsairs now beating up now all of the gunships that are here, I guess. The AA is actually decent for them right now, dealing with these Corsairs. Again, they have a decent chunk of hit points, 6,000 versus the 1,100, I think, from the Corsairs. Yeah, 1,100. ASFs are inbound, and here comes... Oh, nope, he turns. Oh, he turns at the last second. Oh, that's a great engagement here for Team 1, at least the initial one. Oh, that is not good for Team 2. And, yeah, not looking great. There are some AA missiles on the gunships. We do see some gunships dealing with, again, more of those Corsairs, but I think Team 1 just won air. Oh, yeah, hand over fist they did. 73 plus another 30, so let's say 40. So, yeah, 40, 120, 115 maybe. And then Team 1, we have 60, so it's closing in on 200 ASFs in their favor. They're closing in on they own air. And here comes those ground forces still pushing in, dealing with the remainder of this base. The SMD survived nonetheless. That's a good win, though, for Team 1. Unfortunately, there are Medusa inbound. They could be enough to kill off that SMD, but we shall see. Looks like they're pretty much being dealt with. The mexes looks like they're probably more of a bigger target, which I don't blame them. Filling up more mass for Team 1 is definitely a good idea to win the game. If your opponent can't spend mass to build units, to build defenses, then it's kind of a game over then. I thought he was building another headquarters. I'm like, why are you building another T3 right next to it? Ah, it's another one. It's a different kind. Nuke at 220,000 mass, doing, again, very well. Again, Team 2's Mr. Cabin doing very well with his nuke, but it is just a one-trick pony, though. Team 1, again, SMDs. That's the counter. That's it. That's all you got to do. You have to protect the SMDs, but it's the only thing you need to deal with the nukes, at least for now. And Megalith being bullied by some broadswords. ASF's inbound. Team 1's ASF's in the area to deal with it. Those are Corsairs, not ASF's, but all the same. That Megalith is dead, and the Corsairs and the ASF's now nearby will deal with the remaining ASF's from Team 2. 40 minutes on the clock. Again, no deaths for a while. It seems like it's kind of been a hot minute before we had a death in the game. Eco, again, slightly in Team 2's favor. Sorry, Team 1's favor, but not by a whole lot. Total Master Crew, though, is starting to widen a little bit more. How's that reclaim situation? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a 2-to-1 advantage. That's the majority of that lead between the two teams. Let me know down in the comments, again, who you think is going to currently win. And, of course, you haven't, because I don't know why you would not at this point. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Here comes some Corsairs going after that little air grid here. We have an artillery emplacement being built now for Mr. Cabin. And looks like they go after the nuke, and they kill off the nuke as well. I think it was about time maybe that Team 1 targeted that nuke. And here comes another Corsair bombing. Kills off a chunk of the air grid there. And it looks like it's going to target it. ASFs are in the area. Of course they are, because they're right there. But again, ooh, and an artillery piece for Team 1's online. Is that MimiKz? Nope, that is ConCom. And attacks down the middle here from MimiKz as well. Team 2 is now hurting decent. They lost the nuke. They lost another air grid. They lost almost another air grid. There's the brick force inbound. They're going to lose the artillery emplacement that they were working on. Is not going to last, most definitely. So unfortunately for them, that's not going to be fun for Team 2. It's going to be fun for Team 1 and Satellite online. So we have Air Victory and Win for Team 1. We have Artillery online for ConCom. And we have Novax online for Unpwnable. So longer range options looking very well. And they dealt with the nuke from Team 2. So it's looking very, very good for them at this point. 41 minutes on the clock. I have seen stranger things happen, and I'm not going to count those chickens before they hatch, but it's one of those things where it's definitely leaning in that direction now. And again, lots of experimentals for Team 2's air player of Morax. I guess he's land and air at this point, but the Corsairs are just eating him alive. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, levensies, brunch, whatever you want to call mealtime. They're just having a buffet with it. Shielding coming online as well. Looks like the satellite focusing on more vulnerable targets of MimiKz. And the chicken's down. We see a chicken already down there. Yeah, it's just not looking good for Team 2 at all. Megawith is down as well. Chicken is fleeing. We have another one inbound. That's not going to help things. And chicken's in the yellow now. Yeah, it's just not looking good here for Team 2 at all. Is he building another Novax? No, it's just the one. Is it? Oh, no, that's another P-Gen. Not building anything else, I guess. He has an artillery piece. MimiKz does. That's 2 artillery pieces. And a satellite. That's a lot of firepower to have. And there goes Team 2's Morax. He control K's. It's a 4v1 in Team 1's favor. So, yeah, Team 1's favor. And Unpwnable sitting at 1,000 mass a second. I don't know how this game goes on for another like 10 plus minutes, but apparently it does. It just is striking given the APM deficit that Team Mr. Cabin, I should say, is facing. I was going to say Team 2, but essentially just Mr. Cabin. He is sitting at 1.5k mass income alone, so that is something. But the APM is definitely taxed to the max. He's taking out loans. He's selling all of his Pokemon and Magic and all those other collectible items just to keep the lights on. And Corsairs, yeah, just ripping everything apart. And there's a lot of AA in the area, to be fair. Both looks like stationary and mobile. But again, it's just one of those things where it's just a little bit of chipping away makes it a little bit easier the next time, makes it a little bit easier the next time, and then eventually just lets the water through the dam and just breaks it entirely in one fell swoop. SMD, I guess, is targeted. I don't know why, but it is. Does Team 1 have a nuke being built? Even if they did, I mean, you'd probably save that nuke for something even more concerning, like the air grid. Team 2, do you have a... Yep, you have a nice little SMD there. Shielding is back online. How's his power doing? That's probably not looking good for him. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad, though. Eastern side, bricks are just being bullied by Corsairs again. I don't think a land fight's going to happen anyone's favor anytime soon, or at least Team 2's favor, I think. I think there is a path forward, but I just don't know what it is as of right now. He could go for Game Ender, but it might be too late at this point. And there's another chicken dead. Team 1 has eliminated multiple experimentals with their gunships and Corsairs. It's been devastating for Team 2. I'm surprised he didn't shift into a little bit more mobile AA at that point, but teach their own, I guess. And Monkeywood being directed to push a little bit further middle. And I don't see anything big and exciting. Nuke is online, though, for Team 1. It's a little bit of revenge there for ConCom. And I think he's going to get his revenge, to be honest. Team 2 doesn't really have SMDs. Well, I have one there, but that's really about it. Spy plane's getting a readout what Team 2's up to. 47 minutes almost on the clock. We have Corsairs, again, still punishing Team 2's land forces. Man, it just won't stop. Scath is pointed out by ConCon, and I mean, if it was started maybe 5-6 minutes ago, that'd be different, but right now I don't really see how Team 2 is going to come back unless it comes online and just obliterates Team 1. Nuke pointed out by ConCon. Yep, that's already half loaded, and I see danger in the near future for Team 2. And Fatboy versus Megalith, depending, it pretty much only goes one way, but it just depends on a lot of other factors, like are there units nearby? Is the Megalith already within range of the Fatboy? Is another Fatboy going to show up? That sort of thing. Eastern side's kind of just debunked for both teams, but at least there's no pressure in Team 1's eyes of Team 2 pushing northwards. That's probably more than worth the price. Shield being assisted, I mean, that's nice, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference at this point. Chicken's almost done. MimiKz is done with another experimental. Is it another land experimental? Is it an air one? Is it a Navy one? I don't see anything. Looks like it's maybe another Microwave, maybe. Oh, sorry, Megalith, I should say. Units on the western edge, though. That's from ConCon, not from Team 2. Looks like there was some pinging going on between the two teams. It's they're not at war with each other, so that's not how that works. And yeah, it's just not looking good here for Team 2 at all. In the middle of the map, we have, again, Bricks trying to make a desperate play. Good luck with that. That is not going to work anytime soon, unfortunately, for them. There's just too many defenders. There's too much firepower. That's a ton of gunships, I will add. Yeah, 77. That's a lot of gunships. So, yeah, good luck getting anything through land with them in the way. I mean, Team 1, all really they have to do, and they're already kind of pretty much doing it, is just sit back and relax, because the artillery plus the nuke plus the gunships, that's going to be a decent amount of work done on the Team 2. Now we have whalers inbound. 50 minutes on the clock and climbing. Gunships are inbound, and they are being buffered by the ASFs from 2 air players, or 2 players with air. Looks like the target is the Scathis. That is almost done, and it's going to be abandoned. ASFs are dealt with. Is it going to be fast enough? It looks like pigeons are being targeted, and some of that air grid is dead, but honestly, not bad. Scathis is almost done. You got to finish that Scathis. It's literally 200 hit points away. What is going on? There it is. Might as well spend that little bit more mass to build that thing. There it goes. Off. It's spreading on its legs up into the air like it's laying on its back. I mean, Team 1 has some being the keyword, shielding. They're going to get a lot. Oh, I love that. Look at that shielding line. Like, we're just going to make a box. Draw that box and just put everything in that box and then mail it to himself, and then hopefully it doesn't get smashed by a hammer. It's gonna be very important, these few moments of the Scathis being online for now, what it targets. Because if it goes after the artillery, it will alleviate a little pressure. If it goes after comms, I highly doubt it's going to alleviate that much pressure. There come the shots. Ooh, MimiKz is getting hit. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff dead. He's being hit pretty hard. This base got hit. This base got hit. This base got hit. He's just focused by Team 2. And Team 1 is still doing very well with 2.3 to 1.6. And yeah, that air grid is dead and gone. Needs to start targeting those artillery emplacements and the Novaxes if they can find them. I don't know if they know where they are. No, they don't know where that artillery placement is. That's a little awkward. Attacks on the western edge. Gunships are dealing with those soon. Again, forces down the middle. We have gunship v gunship, but it's going to come down to numbers, and Team 1 definitely has it still. We have monkey, crab, 2 fatties, 3, 4 fatties. Another satellite inbound. This saddle, oh, he's not targeting the artillery. Oh, that's... I mean, he might be out of range, to be honest, which is probably why he's not focusing on them. Yeah, they are not. They'll even check MimiKz. But again, it is something you can take off the board. They can kind of poke him, but not really. Not really. Looks like he took out a section of an air grid. A section of an air grid. Not a lot of broadswords going to be built now for Team 1's Unpwnable, that's for sure. SMD is down. That's unfortunate. Okay, this is a little excessive. I like to see it. That's a little excessive, to be honest. Does Team 2 know about it? They don't know anything that's happening. Oh my goodness. The scouting is just not good for Team 2 now. They're trying to eke out as much range out of those artillery as possible, but there's just only so much you can do. Land forces are trying to get close. There's a Monkey Lord. There is a Soul Ripper here hanging out, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. Looks like maybe the artillery from ConCom is being targeted, but again, shield is coming online, and that's a hefty amount of shielding, to be honest. Here comes those first volleys inbound. They kill off some of the shielding being built. Oh, a couple of pigeons exposed. That's not good. And some of those pigeons are being destroyed here for Team 2. That's also not good. Got to keep that power online, keep those shields on, keep the lights on. And shielding is collapsing. Oh, and the shield is down. Oh, it's going to take maybe one good shot from probably that or nearby. Nuke is inbound nonetheless. Fires it at something from Team 2. Gunships get obliterated in their pass inbound. Nuke is going to go for it. There is no SMD. It's been destroyed. The SMD has been destroyed for Team 2. That is going to be game, I think, right there. And the artillery from Team 1's ConCom does get destroyed. But again, that one nuke is going to do a lot of work. And it's going to be the end of the match right there here for Team 2. Might even get the bug with it as well. Here comes the nuke. Kaboom! And the Scathis is fine. Oh, that's close. Looks like focusing on the Scathis. But again, there's a Monkey Lord. There's 4 satellites right above them. It's not going to be much longer at this point, I'd imagine. Yeah. No, that Monkey Lord got focused hard. Team 2's Mr. Caban did a pretty good job with what he had. Looks like he's targeting some mexes up to the north. Looks like. It's still some mass a second being denied. And some power as well. It's something. Some mass being destroyed. And Scathis is gone. Nice job, Caban. Yeah, he did a pretty good job considering what it was left with. And it was just a uphill battle. And 57 minutes almost on the clock. And that should be about it. He hasn't left just yet, so the game continues. Oh, there he goes. Now he's gone. Looks like he might have been found out by Team 1, maybe. But there is the game. Team 1 wins the match. MimiKz did a pretty good job. I think, the remainder of the 4 for Team 1 did a very good job. You know, air was 1. And then land push, that 1 nuke. I mean, it almost hit that Scathis. Almost. But almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And again, let me know who you'd pick for MVP, and I would see all of you in the next one.